All right, back at it again. As you can see here, a little bit lighter in some areas than other areas. That means I'm finding the wood now, getting down to the flame maple veneer and trying not to go through it. So what I want to go is try to get the veneer, the lacquer completely off the veneer and try to do some type of a staining on it and reseal it, sand it down, reseal it again. Right now I'm just kind of getting shit straightened out here with the computer. All right. No music this time, just fucking sanding. So what I got here is basically 220 good sandpaper, 3M sanding block to make sure that the surface here is nice and flat. Otherwise, whatever buildup it's on here will be transferred over to whatever you're sanding as you're sanding it. Fold this a couple of times so I can tear it and fit it on the sanding block. Yeah, last night I ended up couldn't sleep. My back was fucking killing me. So I decided to sit down and watch TV a little bit. Yeah. Something I don't normally do. It's kind of cool. It's nice to sit down and relax for a little bit. All right, so that's done. I need to get a towel, small rag. Bad thing about doing this shit is it makes a lot of dust. So I got to cover the computer a little bit. And the rags that I use with the acetone, I throw those rags away. I do not save them. You could wash them if you want, but I don't. Same thing with lacquer thinner rags. You've always threw them away, never saved them. Also, be careful if you're smoking around open container of lacquer thinner, or even acetone for that matter. Shit's flammable. I was hoping that the acetone would break down the lacquer that's on here, make it a little easier for it to come off, but it doesn't help very well. I'm sure if I had poured it on and let it sit, it'd probably take the veneer completely off, separate the glue and the veneer. But I'm not looking for that to happen. Just give it a little bit of a quick wipe down. Let's see what happens. Maybe it took off a little bit of it. Now, you seen me yesterday using a razor blade. All right. Now, when you're using a razor blade to scrape something, you're going to make sure you're completely flat. Try not to push too much on one side because the tip of the razor blade can actually leave a line in your project or whatever you're doing. It actually works very well. This helped me a lot yesterday. I'm removing a lot of the top of this, the lacquer off this top to get down to wood. You can kind of see like here, it's a little bit more wood showing than the lacquer. And you can kind of tell a difference a little bit. Now, the bad thing about using a razor blade is it can be very dangerous. You can cut yourself. But on a flat surface, it works fucking great. I wouldn't recommend using it on a arch top. You know, hold it completely flat and just kind of scrape with it. You see the dust that's coming off of it right here. That's lacquer. But the thing about it is there's not much lacquer around here anymore, so I'm not scraping hardly anything. And your edge like this, you want to go out away from it. See, I'm not scraping much at all. So I'm getting closer and closer to the wood. Hey, Lance, scrape that thing, he says. I actually got to watch a little bit of a movie last night. My back was killing me, so I ended up turning the TV on and watching this. I don't remember what the fuck the name was, but it was kind of interesting. It was kind of like the good guy, bad guy thing. They ended up getting into a fight, and the bad guy was running away from the good guy, and as the bad guy was running away, he's looking for any type of a tool or weapon that he can use against the good guy. And it's funny, I started thinking, when I was younger, into the hanging out with the group and shit like that, and we got into some bar fights and stuff, nobody ever really used any weapon unless there's like a piece of wood, a piece of conduit, or a broken bottle or something that was around them at the time. But when you're in a bar, you really don't find a piece of wood or a pole or stick or whatever, piece of conduit, pipe, or broken bottle maybe. But I started like reminiscing about the past, all the fights that I got into and shit, and started thinking about it. It was like, yeah, this guy's walking around fucking in the movie and like saying, "Oh, I got this as a weapon," and shit. It's like, yeah, you don't tell the person that you're fighting that you got a weapon or what type of weapon it is and how you're going to use it. So that was kind of funny. Stupid, but funny. It's getting closer to getting closer to wood, I think. Powder still looks white though. But I'm seeing a lot of wood here too, so. I don't know if I should start using a 400 grit on here or not. So I don't want to start going through this here. I'll still say it's a little piece of veneer with like 2 inches of lacquer on it. Yeah, well, could be right, Vince. Now I'm starting to get to the wood. Seeing a little bit of it. You kind of hear the difference in sanding now. It sounds a little bit different. I tell you, the dust that's in this room right now, I gotta do some cleaning after I get done doing this. I gotta make sure I get all this shit off, so the stain has something to stick to and soak into. Never took me this long to remove fucking car paint, that's for sure. For as long as I've been working on this thing, I would have had a fucking fender strip now by now. Yeah, it would have less clear on it too. One thing I wanted to do with this is like take a little bit of water. Sounds woody. Yeah. Take a little bit of water with a on a rag. The acetone evaporates very, very quickly, and you have time to penetrate into the wood. Take a little bit of water, go over the whole top with it with just a damp cloth, and see if it raises, how much of the grain it raises. If it raises a lot of the grain, and I could see or feel, it still has a lot of lacquer on it. I was hoping I could kind of wipe it off, scrub it off with the acetone, but it doesn't seem like it's working very well. It's like lacquer thinner you can use in automotive shit, it'll actually remove the paint off this stuff. Make a nice clean surface. Acetone does not work like lacquer thinner. It's a lot weaker. Hey Ed, what's going on? Just working on this thing again, trying to get this shit off of here. Without going through the finish or the veneer. Let me wet a wet towel a little bit, see what happens. All right, so water will raise the grain. Let's see how much grain there is to raise here. Since water takes longer to dry. Yeah, I could feel it as I run. The wood is you could feel the roughness of the wood and the smoothness of the lacquer. So there's still a lot of lacquer on here. Yeah. See, it's kind of like smooth over here, rough over here, and I could feel, yeah, it raised it a little bit. I could feel it. Not much. So what I'm going to do is go over it with the acetone and kind of wipe off the water with the acetone. The acetone will help it evaporate faster. See if I can scrape some more off of here. See how my cat likes that. What? See, there's like nothing to scrape now. Unreal. Back to sanding. Now I gotta wait for it to dry a little bit. All right, so I gotta wait for that to dry. So how's everybody doing? What's going on? Anything new? How's tricks? Well, that's what I'm going to do when I stain this thing. I don't want to raise the grain on it before I put the stain on it, and then rub it in really good, and then I'm going to sand it back so you can get the striping on here. Kind of like I did with everything that was a Les Paul that had a flame maple top on it. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Same color as I did the neck. And maybe do a burst. Just darken it around the edges. With the same color stain. But right now I gotta wait for this to dry a little bit. It's a little bit on the cool side as far as being wet, damp goes. I can tell by how it's sanded over here, it's still a little wet. So I can feel a difference now as far as where wood is and where it's still stained, or lacquer. I mean, like this is all lacquer right here, and this over here, going up a little bit over here, all this, and all this is wood. Tie-dye, yeah, do the rainbow colors on it, no? Taking a break right now. Yeah, I finally sat down and watched a fucking movie. Unfucking real. I think I passed out during it, but Shane, if you play with your uh, if you play with your wood anymore, well, you're really playing with it. Too late. Okay. Like I said, I gotta hand it to the guys that do this on an everyday basis. It is work. This was a fucking car, it'd be stripped by now. Pretty simple. I changed the lighting of the camera a little bit. I'm not too sure if you could see it, but you can see the light in the dark spots where it's wood and where it's still lacquer. And that says that's what she said. Can't believe how this shit's holding on to this fucking lacquer. I wonder something. I will be right back. Come back. Let's see here. I don't know if I still have sandpaper for this thing or not. Let's see how this thing works. It's going to be noisy. It works, but kind of slow. Eric, whose shits list? You think you're back on? Never mind, never mind. Never mind. No, I can't say this is working any faster, but it is working. Just gotta make sure I clean the dust off. It is getting there. Slowly, but it's getting there. This is starting to go down over here. Starting to get more wood over here showing. Still have this part here I got to take care of. A little bit right here. This tip over here. A little bit here, some here. But this is working faster. All right, this is a, what the fuck was it? It's a Craftsman. Not bad, not great, but not bad. And the sandpaper that I'm using has a rubber backing on it, so it sticks to this thing. I'm out of sandpaper for this thing, I guess. What do I have here? This is what? This is a piece of 220. I don't know what I used it on. This is a piece of 220 as well. That's what I got. Another piece of 220, I think. Yeah, it's 220. Let's see if I can. This one's pretty worn out. See, this 220 sucks. This works a hell of a lot better. Go figure. Fucking dusty as fuck in here. It's taking it down a little bit faster. Not as fast as I want, but it's taking it down a little bit faster. Haven't gone through it yet. That's a good sign. Oh, is he? Yeah, nice one. Why would I get a publishing strike from Sears? Because of the Black and Decker? Or the, what is this thing? Craftsman? Not too much to go, I hope. Well, I still see flame maple all the way around this thing, so I guess I haven't gone through it yet. I'm having this. My back has been killing me. Shane got one on his road. Oh boy, the dust in here. I gotta put a fan in this window with a little box over here that I can remove, hook up the hose, and it'll suck the dust right outside. Well, it's getting closer. Over here is pretty much almost all wood. Got a little bit more to go. Ah. Yeah, the camera, you can see it more. Still have some over here. It's got to be removed. And some over here. It's got to be removed. A little bit here. And a little bit over at the top over here. Not too bad. Should have pulled out a little sander a long time ago. I'm going to turn this fan on. Make sure this thing's on the sandpaper. All right, when you fold the paper, you don't use it. All right, so I got a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit right there, and very little up here. Come along. I gotta be careful right there. I gotta be careful. Oh, another one who's using polygon stuff, huh? Hope you don't get any slack for using it. It's fucking getting there. Just imagine how thin this is getting, though. Yeah, that stuff is pretty good, Spike. I've seen it before. Let's see here. See, looking at this part here on the camera, you can kind of see it's darker here, but in person, it's a little bit different. It almost blends in. A new piece of sandpaper. He's almost done. Looks like I got all of it off. And so far, I didn't go through it all. I got one spot right there I got to take care of. Let's see if I can do it with this thing. She's stripped. She is fucking completely naked. A new piece of 400 grit sandpaper. This does not have a rubber back on it, so let's see how this works. Just smooth it out a little bit. This ain't gonna work. Maybe this will work. As smooth as a baby's ass. Cool. This actually worked out and worked out pretty well. Can't say how thick this top is, but probably very thin by now. It still has some flame to it. pain in my ass. Let's see what we got here. Now there was darker stripe here and darker stripe here. That's book matched. All right, let's see. Try to clean this sandwich off now. Get all this dust off of here. I'm going to have to do a light sanding and a buffing on the rest of the body after I get done doing this. Not a big deal. Got a lot of dust in here in these cavities. All right, let me rinse this right now. Let's see if I can raise this grain a little bit. A little bit of water. Yep, I got it all off. It's not like puddling or sitting on top of the wood. It's actually absorbing into the wood. All right, so I'm going to let this kind of swell up a little bit. I'll let that swell up a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but see the striping? And this room is a fucking mess. Holy shit. Oh. Well, there's a workshop. So guys, what do you think? Do you think I'm off to a good start, or is it looking like I'm headed for disaster? Oh, I should have took my amp out of here. Fuck. Yeah, I think it's starting to be. Hopefully, the color I'm using is going to be okay with this shit. Right, that's water. A lot of crap to throw away over here. Old sandpaper. Yeah, that clear coat that they put on there, they didn't use anything. If they would have dyed the flame maple a little bit, sanded it back, lightly sanded it back just to bring out the striping a little bit more, and then cleared it, it would have came out really nice. Now I've used wipe on poly on a flame maple before, and because the wipe on poly has like a gold tint to it, and the striping is light dark, light dark, light dark, it brought out the lighter stripes inside and darkened up the darker stripes. Now you could see it. These guys should do something similar to that. They really would have brought it out. I wouldn't have to fuck with it like I am now. I am going to have to get some wipe on poly though. That wasn't that bad. I thought I was going to go through more sandpaper than that to get this done, but I guess not. I love this 3M shit. Now you can go over to like Menards, Home Depot and pick up this shit. It's a no slip grip, 220 grit sandpaper. It's not supposed to what do they call it? Like bunch up on the clog up the paper, and it's got a rubber backing on it. So like I'd set that on the machine on top of this, the rubber backing stuck to it, and I was able to sand. Love this shit. Oh boy, is it a mess in here. That's all right. It's been a long time since I fucking took this room apart and gave it a good good vacuuming. Yeah, a lot of times when you put a clear coat on something, it'll end up showing up pretty good in the flame maple and stuff. But I don't know what the hell they did. It didn't do that very well. All right, boys, you know how it is. Keep your tool clean. That was a joke. All these towels I use, I got them in the washing machine right now. Throw this one in there and start it up. And since I'm not going to fire up the little compressor that we have down here, I use these cans here. Yep, exactly, Lance. That's what she said. You're paying attention. love these cans of air, but man, they don't hold a lot. I think it's fucking cold. I'm having a smoke. I switched to Marlboro Menthol Lights now. I still do the vaping thing. Shit, it's fucking cold. I'll wait till that one warms up, and I'll just use another can. I use this shit like crazy. That one's getting fucking cold too. Yeah, once I blow off the counters and stuff, and I'll take the computer off the counter, wipe it down, you know, just wipe everything out. Whatever loose dust doesn't get moved out of the way, I'll wipe it down. The little vent that's on the ceiling over here, it's working, but it doesn't work fast enough. I probably have to go up towards the where the fuck is that filter at? The filter's got to be down here. I haven't changed it in a long time. But the ventilation that we have for this room is a separate system. But I tell you what, it clears out cigarette smoke really good, but it does not clear out the vaping smoke. I don't know if the vaping smoke is just a lot heavier than tobacco smoke, but yeah. I got to blow out the back of my laptop because I'm sure that the fucking fans are white. So let's see how this thing is going to do. All right, the towel. Let's see. You see the flaming a lot better in it. That's for sure. It raised it. That's staining. All right. I know every guy hates to hear this. Bend over. Now, if I get a little bit on the top of the binding, I don't care because I'm going to scrape that anyways before I go ahead and seal this thing up. Where did my paper towel go? All right, let's see what this is going to do. No, this is not water-based. This is oil-based. I should use a water base. I'm not going really dark with it, as you can see. If you can see if my head's not in the way. It's soaking in. Not taking much either. You don't want to overlap it too much. Then you get like darker spots. I don't know, can you see the flaming in it right now? Yeah, you can. I was worried that this was going to come out pink. Oh man, there's a little bit of glue or something over here. I'm gonna have to fix that. We'll go over the whole thing with a dull amount. Make sure it's even. Yeah, I got one spot I gotta fix right there. There's gonna be something. Always is. All right, that's first coat. Now here and here, like I said, this is supposed to be book match, so those are even spots right there. I'm not too concerned about it at all. All right, first coat. Let that dry up really good. Now I have not put the second coat on the neck. I got these are a little dark right here, but I got to take care of that. But the neck of the body will match, or at least the top of the neck and the top of the body will match. Once this dries, I got to hit this spot right here a little bit. I think there's just a little bit more lacquer. There's lacquer right there in the corner. Not bad. Let's see. I know I haven't been reading anything here. Spike says, I sweep my shop once a year, whether it needs it or not. Shit. Yeah, I just gotta see how many times we sweep our garage. Ed says, haha, Spike. Shane says, how game guys are trying to make a deal. What? On portals? Oh, brother. Spike says, flaming is highly visible now. Yeah, that's what they should have did. I just gotta fix this one spot right there. I gotta fix that spot. I think I got a little bit of lacquer still there, so I'm gonna have to scuff that out and touch it up. Ugh. All right, there's no more I'm doing with this until this fucking dries. And then after it dries, I could see where, like right here, I could fix it a little bit. Probably right over here, I'll probably need to sand a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe just a characteristic of the wood in those two spots. This spot here, maybe do a little bit of work on that spot there too. But other than that, that's it. Everything else fucking came out all right. I think I went a little bit too thin right over here with the fucking sander. I might be able to hide that. Spike says, even from far away, yeah. I mean, I see it a lot more now than it was the way than they had it. The only thing I think I should have done though was maybe wet it again to see if it rises a little bit more, so I have more striping maybe. I'll let this dry, probably overnight or so, and take care of the spots I need to take care of first before I do anything else. And this is just a what they call Sedona or Sedona Red. Sedona Red, something like that. By Miniwax. I got a big collection over here of fucking Miniwax products. All right. So that's that. Now the rest of the body will be done in lacquer, but this top is going to be done in wipe-on poly. I do have to fix that. Yeah, there's lacquer here. Son of a bitch. A little bit of, probably is a little bit of a low spot right here. When they finish the guitar, it's probably a low spot right there. That's why the sander didn't hit it too well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sander and I'm going to go over this whole body with the sander and get this striping to pop out a little bit more. Dull it down in some areas. Probably dull it down like in the middle over here. Smoke it around the edges. What do you guys think about that? Kind of give it like a burst, maybe a little bit of a burst. Now I don't like the teardrop type burst. I like it where the edges are darkened and fogs in a little bit. And I probably got a little bit too much in a hurry and missed that spot. Maybe, I don't know. Borders a bit there. But before I put anything else on it, I gotta fix that. Yeah, I know, Shane, you're against the bursting. You don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just fix that spot and go over it again and kind of just lightly sand it down just to bring the striping out a little bit more and on the whole top, and that'll be it. Maybe I'll do it that way. Now I'm probably going to put 12 coats of poly on here, the dry scuff in between. And after I get done with this, Andrew Allen of Andrew Allen Guitars, he's going to supply the pickups for this. I'm going to pay him, of course. I'm not going to get him. I'm not getting them for free. I'm not going to. Don't feel right about doing that. So I will pay him for them. But he's going to have the pickups for this, and I think after I get done doing what I did, I'll send the guy a picture of what I did to it with a little description. Let's see. Mick, what color is that? This is the Sodoma Red by Minilex. See, now you could see the flaming in it. Before you couldn't. No, it's SED. And once I sand this all down and put another coat on there, and then give it probably a light sanding again, you'll see the flaming even more. But I got to fix, I got one spot right here where I didn't get all the lacquer off. That's the only spot I didn't get all the lacquer off. Son of a bitch. I mean, that's weird. What's weird, man? What's weird? They're fine, Nick. I can taste the dust in here. Nick says that you could see that you could not see the flame before. Yes, because they didn't do anything to it. They just clear coated over it. Even if they took something with a little bit of yellow inside of it and stained the top first and then maybe sanded it back a little bit and then put a clear on top of it, you would see the striping. I've done fucking what, 4 guitars that had a flame maple top on it. And every time I did the flame maple top on it, I went over the whole top with black first. Or green. I did one that was a green burst on her. And sanded it down, and you see all the striping. You know, you don't sand it a lot, but you just sand it a little bit to see the striping. It pops out. The one I did it black was a Les Paul body Chinese guitar kit. I did the whole top in black, sanded it down, and then went over it with red. So the black striping of it came out of it with the red, and it fucking looked awesome. But these guys didn't do shit with it. You can kind of see where it's drying. Like right over here, it's still a little bit more wet over here. It's a little bit wet over here still. So it's still drying a little bit. It's kind of getting lighter in some of the other areas. Not too crazy about this spot here and this spot here. But since they're like across from each other, I'm thinking that's maybe something with the wood. But that little spot right there is lacquer. I could feel it. Doesn't feel like this does. Well, I could feel how it rised. I could feel how it rised up. The flaming. I really got this shit on my fingers. Now with this being an oil base, it kind of seals a little bit. So when I go over with the sandpaper, all the higher spots are going to get sanded. So when I go over it again with the stain, those higher spots are going to darken up again, or darken more than the rest of it. Let's see. Shane says it was real pale, yeah. Nick says, I saw how it is done on the Tone King guitar make video. You know, I gotta go back to him and see what his guitar looks like. I haven't seen it since it came off the CNC machine. Yeah, there was a guy on YouTube a long time ago that I used to follow, and he used to use a lot of different types of dyes. He was really into the True Oil, and True Oil is basically, you know, what Terry used on his guitar, which there's nothing wrong with it. But he was doing, this guy would take a cut off piece of wood that was like had the bark around the edges, and he turned it into like a small table or something. And he started getting into guitars. Now he moved, I think he moved out someplace in Tennessee or Memphis or something, and he ended up building his shop, and that's what he does. He builds guitars and basses and shit like that. And he even buys kit bodies and uses them instead of building it from scratch. But I was watching him on how he does this shit, and his videos started off a long time ago. He was doing this in his kitchen. He had a shop vac, a palm sander, and you know, he would sit there and do all of his dyeing in his kitchen on the counter. And he did a blue, like a blue burst style flame maple, went over it with the blue, and then kind of sanded it back. You could see all the striping on there, and then went around the edges to give it a burst with a darker blue. And he uses a lot of dyes. I don't know if they're water-based or what. But now he's got his own shop, a house with a garage, and he turned his garage into a, you know, a shop for building. Used to follow him. I don't know what happened to the guy. And I lost track of him. When I started my channel up, I didn't have a lot of the same subs that I subbed to. Couldn't remember a lot of their names. Yeah, I think this would be pretty good. Now, I don't know if Alan, I got to talk with Alan. I don't know if his pickups are going to have the covers on them or not. I got to find out from him how he's going to do that. But I've already talked to him and told him, you know, let me know how I got to pay you. And, you know, which is pretty cool of him. Yeah, well, they're a type of they call them dyes, but yeah, that's basically what they are. Is like an ink. Some guys will buy the dye system, little bottles and shit like that, and some will use actual ink to do this. The first kick guitar video that I saw was I think he was a Asian kid, Chinese kid. He built a blue Les Paul and did a video of building it and stuff. And I think he did the back of it black, but the top of it was blue, and he used True Oil on it. And when I saw that, it was the first time I saw the True Oil finish on anything. And I was like, and I don't like the way it looks nice, but when you get it to where it glares in the light and stuff like that, when you move it, it looks weird. It didn't look right. Then I bought the True Oil myself to try it on my first kit that I built, and the wood just sucked it up. I couldn't build it up at all. The wood just kept on sucking it up, and it was like, okay, I don't like this at all. I ended up throwing that guitar away. I did a bunch of artwork on it and threw it away. Nick says beer. Beer? What beer? Who's got a beer? I got a case of Coronas in the garage. That's about it. All right, I'm going to put this in the other room right now. So that's the back, and the top is darker. I think it's supposed to be the other way around, no? So with the body here, see if I can slide the neck in a little bit. Now I gotta go over her neck. I gotta dumb it down a little bit in some spots with sandpaper, but that's basically what the neck and the body is going to look like together. So I still have to even out these guys here a little bit. So I gotta sand these guys a little bit, sand these guys a little bit, and even it out more. But man, these are nice and smooth too. Oh, pay him in beer. No. No, I don't want to pay him in beer. Be cool if I could, but I don't even know if he drinks. I think he does. Ellen's a good guy. Talked to him quite a few times, but not as much as I would like to. He's a good guy. All right, so I need a wet towel and a dry towel, and I need to clean up this dust. Tell you what, I do like the way that body came out. I'm not too sure if dyeing the neck was a good idea. I got a Pro Bucker. Anybody want a Pro Bucker? It's a neck pickup though. It's not a bridge. Yeah, I wonder how many times I've done this before. Tell you, dust gets all over everything. I don't even know why I have this. I'd never fucking use it. These fucking wires all tangled up with each other. Damn, I got them all tangled up back here. Holy shit. Oh, let's see here. It says, I took down some of my videos. I'll take all the parts if you don't want. No, I kind of promised George. I got a box sitting over here waiting for him. I got a box right here that I got to ship out to George. And I keep forgetting about it, which is not a good thing. Not a good sign when you start forgetting shit. Hey, my phone's got a shitload of dust on it. My countertop was dirty down here. Yeah, I promised it to Georgie. He wanted me to ask me if I could do him a favor and stuff. If I have any old kick guitar pickups or tuners and you know, whatever. And I said, yeah, I got a shitload of them because I barely use them. They were filling up. I got a drawer over here that was filling up with just kick guitar crap. And you know, he asked if he can have them. I said, well, I'll send them out to you. I've got his address. He ended up winning a contest a long time ago from me. So that's how that kind of happened. Just my stupidity of not sending the shit to him is kind of, you know, it's my fault. You know, I don't dox people, so. All right, so what do we got over here that I gotta fix up? I hate having a computer on the workbench and then having other shit over here because the computer gets crap all over it. I gotta unplug it from the power source, tilt it. How much dust got in there? Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad as far as the dust goes. Even worse. Now what I do is I keep my laptop suspended off the countertop because the fans are on the bottom of it. That makes airflow a little bit better. At least that's what I think it does. Let's see, using a phone, I only so much space. Yeah, that's the nice thing about using the phone for doing your shit, for your videos and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about a lot of the space and shit from a lot of hard drive space. Ooh, is it hot? This is behind this laptop. Cool it off a little bit. I gotta take this thing apart and fucking see if take this laptop apart and see if the fans are dirty on it. see here. Plug my microphone, my headphones. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go. I got what I wanted to get done and accomplished today, which worked out pretty damn good. At least I think so. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys sitting there in the chat. Yeah, these are the cheap pickups that came with that guitar. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with them. This thing here, the wires broke off the fucking around the coil. And I'm going to finish cleaning up this room, get this floor vacuumed. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Behave yourselves. Whatever. Enjoy.